conversations with it. Technology isn't there yet to do that, but very surface level, stuff that you could get like, a $5 an hour VA or, whatever to do. You're spending that time training them and having surface level conversation. Hey, have you thought about selling? Oh, you have? Awesome. You have a price in mind. That whole script, that can be taught because it's scripted, right? And you can make it sound conversational, but it's still scripted at the end of the day. It has a checkpoints that it needs to hit. Once you start getting into lead manager and acquisitions type calls, that call could go 150 different directions, and dialing in the parameters of like, okay, we want to talk about grandma and how her health is failing, but we don't want to go so far off base, right? Because if we just stick to the script, then we sound cold and not compassionate at all, right? But if we start talking about grandma's health and then the conversation just starts going down that path for the next 35 minutes, then that's also not productive. That's not good. So how do you tweak that and dial that in? You have to train the system over a long period of time with a lot of calls, and for it to be able to tell the difference between when to bring the conversation back home and when to basically tighten up and loosen up, right? Like, when should I veer off the script a little bit and kind of feed into that, get a little bit more information, and when should I bring it back home and get it back onto the scripted portion of, every call has an agenda, right? Or at least it should, right? So
But you need to monitor anything or everything, because at the end of the day, you need to script it, just like you said. I mean, it couldn't learn. It can't learn. The system, the AI, you can't learn from conversation to conversation. You need to put it in a script, pretty much.
no, that's not true. Actually, like, it can learn from the compound effect of a bunch of conversations poured into it.
Okay.
So it
All right.
can, yeah.
I mean, sometimes what I do, I'm gonna talk to ChatGPT and actually going to try and do some role playing, and it's interesting. So I can tell him to be a red seller, and he's talking to me, and I can sense that he has an emotions. Like, you can, according to the messages that he's giving me, so you can tell when he's getting angry, because I'm telling him to be angry.
Yeah,
And
you can teach it tone. So
exactly.
everything that you can teach a sales rep or a virtual assistant or team member or a child, little by little and more, it's getting more and more sophisticated. You can teach it to the technology as well.
Right.
So, like, what we're going to be doing, we're going